Good morning, guys. It's Amy Bennett with the AM Show. I am back at home today. Goodness, yesterday was it ended up being a big, busy day. Ended up going to work. As if you were on yesterday, you would seen that I had gone to work for lunch, came home. The couple bought our van, so the van is gone. I tried to work up a tear. I was wanting, it was so bittersweet because I was wanting, oh my gosh, I'm not a minivan mom anymore. So I was trying to work up a tear, but then I was just so happy that it was paid off and this whole thing was done with, that that I wanted to dance around. So it was kind of very bittersweet. Anyway, and then yesterday afternoon I got to go to it's called the Freedom Project Tour, and it was with Jenny Allen that started the If Gathering. She's also an author. And then Christy Nockels, she is a worship leader, and she did the worship, and it was so great. It was through the people that were hosting is a thing called Ember, which is it's a I don't even know what it is. It is a group of people in Charlotte where they come together quarterly and worship. Women worship, just as it's non-denominational. It's just all the women in Charlotte coming together to worship, and so they hosted this Freedom Project Tour. And so it was at a church in Uptown Charlotte, and I'm telling you, all the cute ladies came out to Charlotte. It was everybody was in their fall Pinteresty outfits, and there were food trucks there, and oh my goodness, it was so cute. But Christy was just amazing as she led worship. She's just an incredible worship leader. And then we got to hear from somebody that works with the International Justice Mission, and that was incredible to talk about the work that they are trying to do to end slavery. And then Jenny talked, and she was just so on point with where my heart is, and what I've been, just burdened with is the fact that, and this is what my podcast is about, is that we have work to do. We have work to do. God has work for all of us to do. He is calling us. He is at work in our lives, and yet there are so many things that are holding us back. And she just talked about some of those things, and we specifically named the things that might be holding us back, whether it's shame or guilt or comparison or jealousy or anger or control or whatever it might be, the things that are holding us back. And we actually took time to say those out loud and to pray with each other one-on-one. And it was just a sweet time, and I'm glad I went. Although it lasted until I didn't realize it when I signed up, but it was on paper till 10 p.m. and then Jenny and Christy were available for meet and greets till 11 p.m. And if y'all know me, around about 9 o'clock, I was looking at my friend Kathleen, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is way past my bedtime. So I got a kind of late start this morning. Anyway, I just wanted to pass that on this morning, that, just to reinforce, God is at work in your life. God is at work in your life. And I think it's a self-assessment, right? What is the thing? What would be your one thing that you would say might be holding you back right now? And I would encourage you to let me know. If you want to message me, I'd be happy to pray for you or talk to the people that are in your life and confess that. And she was talking about one of the things that she battled for 18 months was a battle of doubt, and that she was on the path to becoming an atheist is what she was, what she felt like. And she battled that on her own for 18 months until she said it out loud to a group of friends. And as soon as she said it out loud, she realized how ridiculous it was and how not true. She was like, I don't believe that. I actually believe in God. That is so silly. I would never become an atheist. I'm a believer. And just the fact of saying it out loud was the thing that broke it. And so I just want to pass that on to you as I've went to the thing and passing it on to you, is that what is holding you back, because God has work for you to do. What is holding you back? And then maybe you need to confess that to a friend and have them pray. So, I'm just going to pass that on. I wanted to, update you on all the other fun things that were going on. So, thank you, Teresa. She says it's anxiety. That is one of the things that came up too, depression and anxiety. And man, we just prayed for bonds to be broken, chains to be broken, in regards to depression and anxiety. That's one of the things we prayed for last night. So I'll be praying that for you too. Okay, guys, it is Friday. I am, oh, Nancy, insecurity has held me back my whole life. Insecurity. Yeah, that was another thing. Insecurity, not feeling like you're enough, not feeling like you're worthy, all came up. And this is what's so amazing, guys. Like, we sat in a room with a bunch of women, and what she would have us do is like say the thing, and then other people raise their hand when that's the thing that, you know, you struggled with. And not everybody raised their hand on everything, but like all the hands were going up. And here we are meeting together across the United States, and we're raising our hands together too, say these are things that we deal with. And we're all, this is what I'm saying, we're all the same. We're all the same. And Satan is attacking all of us with all of these things to hold us back. He's attacking us with anxiety and with doubt and insecurity and shame. And these are things that our enemy is coming at us with so that we don't do the things that God has planned for us to do. And we need to, and this is what she talked about in Hebrews, throwing off everything that entangles us and the things that hinder us, the sin that entangles us, and anything that hinders us. And we've got a race to run. And this is all stuff that's been in my heart, but she was just talking about too. Sherry says doubt is her thing right now, and it follows her around. And oh man, I think I've talked about that here, that I've struggled with that too. Yeah, man, I hate the enemy. I hate the enemy too. But what I was reminded about, especially through Christy's worship and then through prayer, is that we are daughters of God. We have the Holy Spirit within us, and the Holy Spirit is powerful. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is within us, and we have our right and authority to wield that against the enemy, and that it will be a fight, but we have the victory. And I know that because I've battled some of these things that you're talking about, and I've gotten victory. I struggled with jealousy, and I feel like, yeah, sometimes I can get jealous, but it's not like a stronghold in my life anymore. There's certain seasons that I've gone through that I've battled these things, and yes, it still comes up because I'm human, but it's not like a stronghold anymore. So I believe if we fight, that we can have victory. We can have victory over these things, because once we're free, then we can help set others free. And that was Jenny's whole thing. That's why it's called the Freedom Project Tour. Freedom Project Tour. It's all about our freedom, to be released to do the things that God has called us to do. So it was just, it was right up where, right up my alley, right where my heart is, for all of us. That's why Feathers Podcast exists, is to show how God is at work in women's life, and how we can overcome fear, and how we can overcome anxiety, and how we can press on in the things that God is doing, and that God is at work, and that we would wake up. And that was the one thing I wrote down, is that we would wake up to what God is doing in our life. And y'all, you know how I said that I had some ideas around a book? That's right up the alley with what the topic of the book would be, is that God is at work, and how is he at work? What are the ways that God works in our lives? And to really like detail out, like, yeah, we see the enemy throwing anxiety and doubt and everything else at us. We know how he works, but do we know how God works? Do we know the ways that we can identify his work in our life? And when we see that and we struggle, like, how can we overcome that, and how can we move forward in the plans that God has for us? Like, let's quit looking at that and look at what God is doing, and pay attention and wake up to what he is doing in our life. So, yeah, it was just great confirmation for me. Anyway, okay, guys. Cindy, I saw that you joined. Sherry, did I say good morning, Mom? She joined. Angela, Nancy, I hope I got everybody. If I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. Good morning. I'm glad you joined. Okay, guys. So I think over the weekend, I don't know how much car shopping we are going to be doing. Scott's working, so and it's nasty here today. I think it's supposed to be nasty all day, so I don't know how much car shopping we're going to do. So we've got Scott's truck, and we've got Emma's car, so we should be able to figure everything out that we need to figure out. And yeah, I just know God's going to provide a vehicle at the right time, at the right price, and yeah, that's kind of the next practical thing we're working on. Good morning, Stephanie. Saw that you just jumped on. Oh my goodness. Trying to think if there was something else. I think that was it. So I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope you have a great weekend. I'm gonna hop off here, get my day started, and enjoy my weekend. I'm gonna enjoy sleeping in. Enjoy sleeping in tomorrow after last night's late night. Anyway, okay guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back Monday. Bye.